There are 2 weeks left in the NBA's regular season with riveting races for playoff position in the Western Conference. The NBA on TNT tonight is presented by the United States Marine Corps. Welcome to Denver. It's the division-leading Denver Nuggets taking on the defending division champion Utah Jazz. Good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan along with the newest member of our TNT broadcast family, Coach P.J. Carlesimo. It's great to have you with us.
Kev, it's great to be here. I appreciate Doug letting me sit in his chair for a night.
He's a good man, as are you. Let's take a look now at our McDonald's starting lineups tonight. Coach, you've got your eyes right on the matchup at point guard. Deron Williams against Chauncey Billups.
Great matchup. Chauncey Billups for a dozen years now has been a great player in the league. Led Detroit to a world championship in 2004. He brings valuable winning playoff experience, leadership, professionalism that George Karl loves. He's delighted the difference Chauncey's made. On the other side, in only 4 years, Deron Williams already. He's on the verge of leading Utah to their third straight playoff, second team All-NBA last year, and of course a gold medal this summer. He's the engine that drives this efficient Utah Jazz offense.
You obviously take a look at a sold-out house here in downtown Denver tonight. Utah leads this season series 2-1. Late October, the Jazz won by 4 up in Utah. In late January, Denver won by 20 here. And in early March, Utah won by 6 in Salt Lake City. So for Carlos Boozer and for the Utah Jazz, who right now are struggling on the road against good teams, a game tonight against a division team, against a Western Conference playoff team, means everything for them.
Well, no question. Utah's won in the Northwest Division the last 2 years. Usually players tell you it's just another game. Carlos called this a monumental game. Utah wants to keep that. Utah, to solidify their playoff situation, needs to start winning some games, particularly away from Salt Lake.
You saw our officials Tom Washington, Eric Lewis, and Phil Robinson, the green uniforms tonight for the Denver Nuggets for the environmentally conscious Green Week from the NBA. And here we go. They end up with Dhahane Jones on Deron Williams, and they put Kenyon Martin on Mehmet Okur. And now Jones with Williams up there, and a quick foul and a quick trip, and it goes on to Dhahane Jones, known for his defense. That's the first on him.
An aggressive player, one of the minimum contracts that Denver has signed this year, and he's really paid off. He sets a good tone, that aggressive defense George Karl's looking for this year.
Utah comes in number 7 right now in the Western Conference. They have lost 5 of the last 6 road games. Okur inside, working on Nene, picked up by Carmelo Anthony. And here comes one of the top 10 scorers in the NBA, Anthony. Into Kenyon Martin, right into Okur. And Kenyon Martin has been terrific. He is healthy and playing a lot of minutes for this Denver team.
George is building up his minutes now, 35 minutes a game the last 6. He's also starting to produce on the offensive end.
Here is C.J. Miles over Chauncey Billups, rebound by Boozer. And outside for Ronnie Brewer, who is left free to fire, and no one rotates over to get him.
Carlos Boozer with the offensive rebound. This is 2 of the better offensive rebounding teams in the league.
Chauncey Billups and Carmelo Anthony. Anthony comes in tonight as the number 8 scorer in the NBA. The foul right there goes against Carlos Boozer for the first time. So it is Green Week in the NBA. The shoes, the jerseys, everything reflecting the NBA's consciousness toward this environmentally sensitive time in our world, and the NBA playing their part in bringing awareness to the cause.
Sure, Jerry Sloan's happy that Utah's wearing their white. He likes the way they play in the white uniforms a lot more than they do in the blue.
There's Nene at the free throw line. He had an ankle sprain, and he did not practice today as we watched them at the shoot-around, but he is in there starting tonight, and that was a game-time decision for Denver.
Yeah, George kind of felt that he would go. He, again, playing very well, putting up career numbers almost across the board. He's very important for them in a physical game against Utah.
Coming off a game against the Knicks, where he had 18 points and 12 rebounds and 4 steals. Devontae Jones continues on Deron Williams. And Carmelo will go on Brewer. Williams and an Okur screen. Jones fights through that. And that was deflected and picked up by Miles. Looking for Boozer. Shot clock at 1. Brewer fires and puts it down on the door rotation. It was really Jones who had the last defensive stab at him.
That wasn't really typical Utah execution, but Jerry Sloan will take it. They executed really well on the first possession, and Meadow Kerr missed the layup.
Chauncey Billups, 16th in the NBA in assists. Here comes Martin, right at Carlos Boozer. Like we said, Kenyon Martin is playing without any pain in his back, which afflicted him in February and a good part of March, but he feels hale and hearty here in the month of April. Mehmet Okur inside on the defensive-minded Martin, and the outlet intended for Anthony, and a quick foul. It goes on Utah. It's on Brewer, who picks up his first for the Utah Jazz.
Well, Kenyon Martin obviously being more offensive-minded tonight. That's his second trip to the rim. First on a pick and roll. That one, he went right at Carlos Boozer. Kenyon Martin sometimes will just stand around on offense and not really be a factor except on the offensive boards. Tonight, he's geared up.
Denver Nuggets are second right now in the Western Conference. They've won 9 of 10, 4 straight, as Nene fires over Okur. Rebound by Brewer. Winning on the road against good teams has been the Achilles heel of this Utah team the entire season. Trying to break that tonight. Okur heels inside, working on the name.
3 trips inside already for Okur and empty on all 3.
You know about his three-point shooting. Here's Chauncey Billups into Okur, driving by Williams, and a foul. Which again will put Denver at the free throw line. The clock at 9:13. Okur picks up his first.
And Mehmet Okur is frustrated already. He's upset. He thinks he's getting banged, but Kenyon Martin is a physical defender. Jerry Sloan likes his teams to play physically also. Okur getting a little frustrated for this early in the game.
Well, you play that physical, that means probably a lot of trips to the free throw line for both teams. So when you take a look at the 3 previous games, have you seen any kind of pattern? You've seen a lot of free throw attempts by these teams?
200 free throws between the teams. They both shot over 100 in the 3 games. They do it night in and night out. They both foul a lot. They're both very good at getting to the rim. So get used to this. We're going to see a lot of free throws.
Here is Billups, the number 5 free throw shooter in the NBA at 91%. And Denver with the quick 2-point lead. Aaron Williams coming off a 24-point, 13-rebound game Monday against the New York Knicks. And he looks inside as C.J. Miles picked up by Chauncey Billups, and away from the ball, Nene is called for his first personal foul. He's been another one of those guys who has been healthy all season. It's made a huge difference for this Denver team.
George Karl had a real sit-down with him in the beginning of the year and asked him to do a number of things. One, concentrate on practicing a lot harder, being a little bit more professional, and it's been rewarded. He's worked harder and he's playing better.
Here's Boozer off to Williams with a great drive inside, shaking the defense of Dante Jones.
Good give and go read. Darren Williams just read what was there, made a good cut, simple pass. No weak side help that time from Denver.
Jazz coming off a loss at Portland a couple nights ago, 125-104, allowing the Blazers to shoot 62%. Anthony inside. Boozer was the guy he fired over. Okur grabs the loose ball. Denver Nuggets on Tuesday took care of the New York Knicks by 7 points here. Now they got Anthony on Darren Williams, the second defensive player. Now they got Martin on Darren Williams on the rotation. Boozer, no one is on him. And Okur keeps it alive with a good offensive rebound. That's a throwaway, picked up by Dante Jones. With numbers and the D-Will, and he traveled with the ball. That is a dribbling violation on Dante Jones. And the first turnover by the Denver Nuggets.
Well, this is the best passing team in the NBA. Usually it's out of one of their sets. That was just good basketball. See that on the playground. But again, a good read. Boozer passes well for a big. Darren Williams with a good cut. When you try and overplay him, he's very good at going to the rim for a lob pass or to post up.
3 different defenders already Darren Williams has seen for the Utah Jazz. Now Martin and Jones. Miles is open, rotates to him, and he buries a 3-point shot. And in this series, Denver has a lead in 3-point hits with the Utah Jazz.
Utah does not shoot a lot of 3-point shots, but particularly Korver and Okur are very good. C.J. Miles can hurt you if you don't pay attention to him.
They quickly double Carmelo. That means Martin is free, and he exploits that with that nice 17-footer. He's got 6 early points for the Denver Nuggets.
We've got the offensive-minded Kenyon Martin this evening, no question. Billups
up on Miles. Nene comes over on Boozer. The rebound by Carmelo Anthony. and he has been on a tear, averaging over 30 points a game over the last 6 games for Denver. As you take a look at the rebounding story, Brewer is on Carmelo. Rebound by Okur, who collects another one for the Utah Jazz, his third. Williams, with a great spin move and then tripped inside by Dante Jones, who picks up his second foul for the Denver Nuggets.
Utah changing sides of the floor, which is always good to do. All the way around to the weak side. It has to make the defense move from one side to the other. No one in the league does it better than Utah. Change sides of the floor is a great offensive recipe.
Just saw 67-year-old Jerry Sloan going with the coaching with the heavy heart. Here is Miles over Phillips. So Utah is on top by 3. Jerry Sloan's 81-year-old brother Buck passed away earlier this week. He'll attend the funeral in a couple days. Phillips losing it inside. It's picked up by Brewer. Numbers the other way. Williams with Brewer. Martin reaching in and picks up the foul. The first on Kenyon Martin of the Denver Nuggets, and it comes with 6:27 to play here in the first quarter.
Utah wants to run more. They've been unable to get it out, either because they have not outletted it quick enough or Darren Williams didn't really have room to push. That time they had the numbers. Results in a couple of free throws.
So here's Ronnie Brewer at the free throw line. 3 years out of Arkansas. National coverage of the NBA continues. Friday ESPN. It's the Cavaliers and Magic, followed by the Rockets and the Lakers. Coverage at 7:30 Eastern. Sunday on ABC, it's the Spurs and Cavs, followed by the Suns and Dallas Mavericks. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern. And then Tuesday on NBA TV, Fan Night, as the Hornets will take on the Heat. Coverage 7 o'clock Eastern on NBA TV. Brewer at the line. He's got 6 early ones for this Utah team. And this is the biggest lead so far in a very tight game of 3 for Utah. Brewer sticks on Carmelo. Screen by Nene. Carmelo Anthony. Rebound by Darren Williams. Anthony has started 0-3. Williams into Phillips. And the rebound is claimed by Okur. Chauncey, the 4th different defender that's gone on Darren Williams in the first opening minutes of this game. In the first 6 minutes of the game, 4 different defenders on Darren Williams. How about Kenyon Martin in his start for the Denver Nuggets?
Doing it a couple different ways. That time off a pick and roll. Good pass from Carmelo. He thinks he can beat Carlos Boozer. He's right. Now a kick out and a jumper out there. Kenyon Martin getting going, but he needs help from his teammates.
Expected his team to play some defense. Teams are shooting just 44% against Denver this year, the 2nd best in franchise history. Sharing the ball has become a priority, and the team currently ranks 5th right now in the NBA in league-wide assists. And finding a leader, maybe the most important portion of all. The Nuggets acquired Chauncey Billups from the Pistons on November 3rd for Allen Iverson. He has certainly stabilized this team.
But talking to George Karl this morning, he's bubbling over, talking about the difference Chauncey's made. He understands you got to defend to win. You got to make the extra pass. He's communicated that to his players, and they've bought in.
Williams has started 1 of 2 out of that break. Here's a long 2-point hit made by Ronnie Brewer, free to fire. And Utah's got their biggest lead right now. That's 8 points now for Brewer. 8 of Utah's 15 points in this game. Utah is on a little 6-0 run right now. No team changed their personnel out of that last break. Billups got around Williams. He got inside and hits the floater.
When they need a bucket, Chauncey Billups knows it's important possession. He's going to look to get himself or get Carmelo a good look.
Utah so far has exploited some turnovers for the Nuggets, +5 in points off turnovers in the first 6 minutes of the game. Williams, Miles, Brewer. Anthony comes out on Brewer. Here is Boozer, picked up by Nene. The left hand by Carlos. Rebound by Carmelo Anthony, collecting his 2nd rebound tonight.
Utah doing a good job getting it inside, Kevin, but they're not being rewarded. They can't finish.
Phillips 1 of 1, missing that long 3 right there. And picked up on the play with the shot by Okur. Inside, the runner won't fly inside. And a rebound by Martin, knocked away by Brewer. Here comes Carlos Boozer. Gets his own miss. Saves it. Williams by Billups. Look at all the 2nd chance, 3rd chance, 4th chance points by the Utah Jazz. And it's a nice offensive Rebounded. Billups picks up his first and 4.5 to play. Marty Snyder is the third member of our crew. Marty, good evening.
Good evening, Kevin. And on this bench over here with the Nuggets, George Karl is infuriated. Told his guys at that break just a moment ago, he said, you know, you've got to hustle. The Jazz will out-hustle us all night long. They'll get rebounds on us all night long. If we don't want to play any harder than that, we're not going to win tonight. We have to rebound with two hands, or rebounding with one hand and getting the ball knocked away from them, and all the offensive rebounds you just saw there, clearly frustrating George Karl.
There's Williams at the line. You see George Karl, the 57-year-old head coach, within a half year now with this team. You take a look at the offensive rebounding story for the Utah Jazz.
Well, that's always one stat, Kevin, that you can find out if your team's hustling. Worst news for George, he talked about timeout. He comes out and they get 3 offensive rebounds on 1 possession. That was also after a turnover. Don't forget that outlet pass that was intercepted. So more points off turnovers also for Denver.
Millsap is coming for Boozer for Utah. And J.R. Smith has just come in for Dante Jones for the Denver Nuggets. Instant offense. Here is Smith. Miles will pick him up. Kenyon Martin had the quick start. And Millsap, the former second-round pick, picks it up and forces the travel. So he pushed him out there and stuck on him defensively.
And I got to think Paul Millsap does a little bit better job moving his feet than either of the Utah bigs that starts.
As you look at the turnover story, and approaching 4 to play here in the first. Utah from the floor, 6 of 18. Denver from the floor, 4 of 9. Miles, Smith on him. And over to Nene. Nice move inside.
The bigs can't finish inside, but the 2 wings, C.J. Miles and Ronnie Brewer, are off to great starts. They're all the offense for Utah.
There's a shove away from the ball. Looked like Brewer got caught up with Carmelo.
Darren Williams finds C.J. Miles coming off the pin down. J.R. Smith, cardinal mistake, leaves his feet. Easy finish inside.
Brewer just picked up his second. Here comes the Birdman. Chris Anderson's going to check in for Nene. Andrei Kirilenko will check in the game for Brewer. This guy is perhaps the biggest fan favorite they've got in Denver right now. A Martin screen. Millsap fights through it. Martin lasers it off to Chris Anderson into a pool. Rebound by Darren Williams, who has started the game 1 of 4. Smith picks him up, 5th different defender. Millsap got a great feed inside from Miles. And he goes around Anderson for the deuce.
Finish with his left hand. Good finish inside by Paul Millsap, moving without the ball.
Well, Utah looks really focused in this one.
White uniforms, that's the difference, Kevin.
Here comes Carmelo Anthony grounding inside on Kirilenko. Rebound by Millsap. 11-2 run by the Utah Jazz. They got a rebounding advantage, 2 of 6 so far. That has been big in this game.
These two teams really get after it on the board. With both these coaches, that's the first stat they look at.
McClure and Williams, Miles, Millsap, and Kirilenko, the Utah 5 on the floor. Outside to Miles, the late close by Carmelo, the rebound by Anderson. Out there with Martin, J.R. Smith, Chauncey Billups, and Carmelo Anthony. That sets the lineups, and inside Billups looking for Carmelo. And shoved on the play by Andrei Kirilenko at the 2:45 mark of the first quarter. Kirilenko picks up his first. But look at the Utah Jazz, a 10-point lead with under 3 to play in the first.
Back in Denver where the Jazz lead by 10 here early on. Chris Anderson is one of the most popular players here in Denver, and for good reason. Here's a man who was out of the league for 2 years because of substance abuse. Told me he's not ashamed of that at all because his story is a success story. Came back, was picked up by the Nuggets in July off the street, and has played terrific. Really elevated his game to the next level, playing defense terrifically, and he's a crowd favorite because he plays so hard when he's out there on the court. Told me he's turned his life around now. Very happy playing in the NBA, happier than he was when he first came in the league originally.
Thank you, Marty. He's 31 years old this coming summer. He is having his best season, and George Karl raves about this kid. Here's an interesting thing. Number 2 in block shots for a guy who doesn't even start. And he's writing back at Dwight Howard of the Orlando Magic in that category.
Plays less than 20 minutes a game. He's been a big impact on their defense. But talk about he's popular with the fans. He's more popular with his teammates and his coaches.
Here's Williams off to Kirilenko, picked up by Anthony. Right now, the Utah Jazz exploiting the points off turnovers. They're the second best team in points off turnovers in the NBA. Here's McClure over Martin. Rebound is off of, it looked like, Anderson of Denver, so Utah will get it. So Utah great in getting points off turnovers. They're +8 in that category. Denver, in defending that, is in the lower third of the league. So far, the easy points being converted by Utah.
No question. A huge difference in field goal attempts. Utah's already, that's their 23rd field goal attempt already, Kevin, because to only 11 for Denver because of the offensive rebounds and the turnovers killing Denver.
And Okur gets his first 2 as he takes it inside. Utah, great points in the paint team, too. Number 2 in the NBA. That's how they thrive. You see the field goal story right there. 2 to play here in the first quarter. It's Martin driving on Millsap. Boozer started. Millsap is in there right now. 1:15 to play here in the first, and the shot clock at 5.
Good look here by Darren Williams. Mehmet Okur finally gets one to drop.
Carmelo Anthony just banned on a shot. Another rebound by Utah. This one is gobbled in by Millsap. Williams dishing over to the uncovered Okur. And a quick close by Carmelo. And that is an offensive foul. It's on Mehmet Okur with an elbow. It's the second on him.
Memo's upset. He thought he made a good move. I actually thought Phil Robinson was going to call a travel. He's got good position right here. Kind of led with that right elbow. If he didn't hit him first with the right elbow, I think he was fine with the finish. But every time you get that elbow up and into the man's chest, it's almost an automatic call.
Linus Clays has just checked in for Kenyon Martin, and here comes Matt Harpring, who's battled all kinds of injuries. He'll take the place of Okur. So the Nuggets will take it the other way, having missed their last 4. Phillips has only put in 3 points in 10 minutes. And here is Carmelo. He has started 0 of 5. Williams and Phillips. Clazo, who's been in a shooting slump, but 2 critical games back-to-back. That's a big 3 right there by J.R. Smith from outside. Instant offense, and that breaks a 4-minute field goal drought for the Denver Nuggets.
It was an awful deep shot, Kevin, but you can't let J.R. shoot the ball without bouncing it. If he shoots it without bouncing it, you're not close enough to him.
Millsap puts up and in the miss by Darren Williams. So Millsap has come off the bench in 3 minutes, hit a couple of shots and grabbed 3 rebounds and scored 4 points.
Offensive boards killing Denver right now.
Kirilenko on Anthony. And Carmelo slashes inside for 2. His first basket of the game. PJ, he is 1 of 6.
You could see he wanted it, and he's going against an excellent defender in Andrei Kirilenko. Melo wasn't going to be stopped. He just put his head down and went right to the rim.
Shot clock at 10. Phillips on Williams. Picked up by Chauncey on the turnover by Williams, who turns it over about 3 times a game. Plays us inside. Nice fake. And then a pass by Smith.
JR with a good read. In the past, he might have shot that. George Karl's preaching, make an extra pass.
You saw that at the early part of our broadcast. Now there's 5 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. There are no fouls to give. Quick double on Williams. Here comes Miles. Looking for Kirilenko. Into Anderson. Shot clock violation. That was the other component. Better defense by the Denver Nuggets, who this year on the defensive end are limiting teams from the field to just 44%. Number 4 in the NBA in field goal defense.
And number 1 in the entire Western Conference. They're the best Western Conference team. They picked a good time to start playing right now. They just created 2 turnovers on the final 2 offensive possessions.
5.8 seconds, now down to 2 seconds, and there is a 3 by Smith, who throws up and hits another 3-point shot at the buzzer. So J.R. Smith, instant offense, puts it up and in. Utah led by 11. Denver closes on a 10-4 run at the end of 1 in Denver. The Jazz by 3 on TNT.
Like the perfect quarter there for a while. How do they make that 11-3 run there at the end?
Well, we fell asleep a couple times on the 3-point shots, and that's the thing that got us trouble. That play right there should never happen. If we'd have been up on the guy setting the screen.
The offensive rebounding was key for you guys, though, in that first quarter.
Well, that's one of the things we got to try to be able to do. There's no way we can play against this team if we give them second shots all night.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Here's what Jerry Sloan's upset about. You see J.R. Smith, he gets his first look. You got to make him dribble the ball. He can't shoot the ball with his feet set. And on the second one, Paul Millsap, it was a pick and roll. He didn't come out far enough. J.R. just came off the screen, and he was uncontested. Everybody's scouting report, J.R. Smith, don't let him shoot the ball with his feet set. That's a big mistake. Utah wasted like 11 minutes and 25 seconds of real good play by being careless in the last 30 seconds. You got to finish the quarter.
Well, if the playoffs started tonight, these two teams would match up. Number 2 in the here's J.R. Smith over Kirilenko. He's put up another 3. Nice little heat check right there, ties the game at 24. That is his 3rd three-point hit coming off the bench. Utah, Kirilenko, Millsap, Kyle Korver is coming. Brevin Knight, the backup point. Matt Harpring. And against Carmelo Anthony, this is Andre Kirilenko. He works inside. J.R. Smith was reaching in, and Smith picks up his first foul. He's out there with Anthony Kleza. Anthony Carter is on the floor. And also they've got Chris Anderson.
Denver could get nothing going at all. J.R. Smith has come in. You call him instant offense, and he's the super sub. George will give him a green light every once in a while to throw up a heat check.
Anderson on Harpring, inside to the double team. Kirilenko, 1 second on the shot clock. And Korver picks it up. Inside to Millsap, scoops it off to Kirilenko. Shoved from behind and a foul. With 11:08 to play, Utah 3 turnovers in the final 2 minutes of that first quarter, and Denver got 8 points off those turnovers. That's the first foul on Linus Kleza, who said that he had been in a shooting slump. A technical foul has just gone on George Karl. We had a terrific visit with earlier today as he has navigated what he has called his single most enjoyable season so far in Denver.
Well, he's happy, but this is one of the things they're concerned with. George, I think, is going to take some techs himself to protect the team. He thinks they're still too emotionally immature at times. Right now, they're upset with the officials. He's trying to settle them down a little bit, let the teammate, let his team know he's fighting for them. But he's not happy with the way they're getting outworked inside. There's no question what the #1 topic's going to be at halftime. They better start defensive rebounding.
Denver's the hottest team right now in the Western Conference. They've won 4 consecutive games. As we mentioned before, 6 straight at home. Good to see those 2 players right there, Martin on the left and Chauncey Billups on the right. Not only has Chauncey Billups been a huge impact here in Denver, but his absence has been felt in Detroit, so he's really affected 2 teams with the move.
Oh, because you're talking one of the best players, one of the best leaders in the league. In addition to Mr. Big Shot, what he does at critical moments, particularly in playoff games. So he had to be missed.
Backup point guards in there right now. Carter against Knight. Will Smith, who's come off the bench with 3 three-point hits. Carter on him now. He takes it inside. And there is a foul. That goes on Kyle Korver. And Korver picks up his first personal foul. As Denver had hit their last 5 consecutive shots and 10:53 to play here in the first half in Denver. So Smith is at the line and gives us a chance to tell Roy Williams.
So he played at St. Benedict's Prep in Newark for Danny Hurley, one of my former players at Seton Hall, and he decided to come right in, and Denver's delighted right now. Also with this improvement, he's settling down, he's improving each year. He still needs to work, he needs to be more professional, but he's making progress.
So that 1.11-point lead for Utah is gone. A long 3 by Kirilenko, defended by Anthony. And here comes Smith again, and Korver is on him. Here's a 3. Rebound by Millsap, who collects another inside. He's collected 5 rebounds. He's coming off the bench for Boozer. You see that run by Denver. Switch on defense. Carter now goes on Millsap. And Millsap exploits with a charge and a foul inside. Wipe that away. It was on Matt Harpring for the Utah Jazz. He picks up his first personal foul. Harpring started the other night, the second half, with C.J. Miles in Portland.
Well, Matt Harpring is screening up. You see it down out of the corner. The reason Millsap was able to go all the way to the basket, Matt Harpring was boxing out the Birdman, stopping him from coming over, flying in for a block.
Nene comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Anthony starts 1 of 6. Carter. Nice fake, and Kirilenko flies by. Picked up again. Millsap grabs the ball. Here comes Brevin Knight. Kirilenko. Korver thinking about 3 and it's covered from triple territory. And picked up by Carter inside.
Denver fortunate there. You better get out and play Kyle Korver, particularly in transition. He's a 40% three-point shooter.
Fifth turnover for the Denver Nuggets. Here's Knight to Korver, and Kleza will get on him. 9.5 to play in the first half. Nene picking up Millsap. Paul Millsap has come off the bench in 7 minutes, started 3 of 3 with 6 points and 5 rebounds and plays of Carlos Boozer.
That was well defended. Nene did a good job. That's just good offense by Paul Millsap.
Nene working inside, tripped by Millsap. Millsap will pick up the foul. That is the first on left.
Anthony Carter with the great look. Paul Millsap with the better defensive play. See, they switched right there.